The GraphQL gateway can be used to easily combine multiple GraphQL endpoints. Let's switch to the command line now and run graphql-gw config init to create a default configuration. And now we run the server using this command. Next up, let's split the screen so we can run some additional commands while the server is running. Now let's add our first upstream server. It's going to be a GraphQL server that has information about Pokemons. The config add upstream needs to know what you call the upstream server, what the URL to that GraphQL endpoint is, and let's also apply a Pokemon prefix to all the upstream schema types. Now that the Pokemon upstream server is defined, let's mount its query fields onto the gateway server. Let's tell mount which upstream server and which gateway type and field name to make the upstream server available on. The gateway automatically picks up configuration changes. Let's open a browser up to run some GraphQL queries against the gateway. The query type now has a Pokemon v1 field, and it returns the upstream server's query type but with a Pokemon prefix on it. Let's paste in a query that's trying to get information about Pikachu's special attacks. Now let's add a different upstream GraphQL endpoint. Let's use AnyList, which is a publicly accessible GraphQL endpoint of anime shows. Once again, we'll name the upstream server, configure the URL, and also configure a prefix on the upstream types. And once again, we'll want to mount that upstream server onto a field on the query type. This time we'll call the field anime v1. Let's switch back to the browser and reload so we can see the schema changes. Notice the new anime v1 field. And now let's enrich our query using character information from the AnyList service. Let me cut and paste those new selections in, then prettify and run. The GraphQL results are now showing information coming from both the Pokemon and AnyList GraphQL services. Let's now show how you can link entities of different upstream servers. Using the config link subcommand, we will add a Pokemon field to the AnyList characters. This field will query the Pokemon service for Pokemon where the name matches the anime character's name. Now we switch to the browser and reload to pick up the new schema types. We navigate to the anime character type. Notice a new Pokemon field has been added. Next, let's update our query so we can make use of it. We can select the same fields that we were selecting previously, so let's cut and paste those. And then let's run the query. That concludes this short demo. It showed you how you can easily combine multiple GraphQL backend services so that your front-end application only needs to deal with one consolidated schema exposed by the gateway. Keep in mind that this was all done without having to write GraphQL schemas or any resolver code.